Michael.
You guys are funny, man.
Oh,
you guys
man.
are funny. We haven't started the auction yet.
We're gonna
Calm
auction
down.
a beautiful, beautiful setup today.
Slow your rolls, guys. Come on. I feel like you don't even watch the show for me and KT. You just want to buy a box mag.
Alright guys, how are you doing? Welcome to another week of MFW show. It's gonna be another fun episode for us. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play video for you guys, kind of recap what's going on in the week, and then we can start.
The reason for the video, we want you to watch it, as you get the truth about some. Some of you probably have seen it. Some of you may not. Watch the video. It pertains to the box mag. It gives you the inside information straight from the horse's mouth, obviously. That wasn't a disrespect. But there's a lot of ideas that people think, and we'll get back to it after the video here.
All right, small caster. I guess I can pull the.
I'm gonna open
it
first.
first. Okay. Oops,
No, it's on in here. Yeah, that's it. Delete that tab. It'll slow it down.
Right
Oh,
here.
no,
This
that
tab
one.
right
Yeah.
Okay. XR life.
And then small caster. Oh, it's a mute mic and turn on desktop audio.
Mute mic right here. Boom.
Modern Combat Sports.
Hey guys, KT with MCS, and I'm gonna do some shooting with the box mag today. A lot of question was asking why we discontinued the box mag about 3 years ago. There's several reasons. Number one, I think the box mag was a little bit early for its time. We released it when paint MagFed was not really the thing, and a lot of players didn't really understand how the mechanism worked. So they just use any type of paintball that you can find, and they're thinking that if they put a paintball in the door here, they can automatically able to fit it through. But some of the if you have paintball that are too big or kind of oblong and it does not go through this collar here, that means that the ball won't fit. And so nowadays players are a little more astute in the type of paintball that they use. They actually check the ball using the right type of paint, and they actually size the ball properly. So now I think box mag can be a good thing for the players. The players now know the different the type of paint. Like I said before, they just drop the ball in and thinking that, you know, off it goes, and not knowing that paintball can be the size can change from like a 68 to like 70 caliber, like in a matter of hours. If you are in a humid area, the ball swollen up. If you are in the wet and climate, the size can change. Also, paintball can also be how old the ball is. If you have new balls, and of course the size is better, it's more round. If you have it on a shelf for a while, it changes. If you have the ball sit in a box on the back for a while, it's also get dimple, and that ultimately causes how the ball being fed in a box mag. That's one of the factors. Second factor is the ball itself, right? If you have balls that are not round and balls that are not hard, then the blade, we call the nollis drive, the drive cannot push the ball up into the neck, and because it needs force and it's pushing one balls against the other, and if the balls doesn't hold the structure that has the strength to push the next round up, it gets stuck in there. I think that's the two biggest factor that we kind of stop production. And third, itself, we could not support it, so we get like an overwhelming amount of calls and emails, question about how the system worked, and we could not support with the manpower resource. We could not support that, so that's why we discontinued. It's better not to produce a product that you can't support and you're struggling and we failed. That's one of the reasons why MCS can transition out of it too. We don't want to produce manufactured product we cannot support. We need to support the players, able to get you guys still in the field, not buying a product we can't support you. Now, some of the items that we are releasing, we're able to support you. You can call, you can email in, you can go into chat when we're able to support you. And so all the questions you have, we make videos for you. And we're able to do that now, not before where we could not do that. So I think that's one reason why we're ready to kind of bring this back, because we believe that the players have enough knowledge on box magazine and they have enough support behind this product. That's why we're working to bring it back. So enough about that. So let's do some shooting. So you load it in. You turn it on. I don't know if Jonathan covered that for you earlier. There are two settings. One is for the how long we call it the dwell, how long the box, the motor stays on. So if you turn it on plus, it will stay on longer, right? And if you are doing, there's also the sound too. So there's audio, we call it the sound control. Plus meaning you need louder sound to activate, and lower to reduce the sound. The reason is that some guns produce a lot more sound than the other, and some guns produce a less sound. Like for example, the Phenom particularly, or the Hurricane, produce much less noise in firing cycle. So you want to reduce that noise so you can get interference. And their guns are just too noisy. And what happened? It caused the motor to stay on longer than necessary, so you want to reduce that audio input in to compensate for the noise that a gun makes. So for particularly the Hurricane or Phenom, it's actually shoot a lot less noise. Well, you can go pretty much crazy with the box mag. That's one of our favorite system when we released a few years ago. We're hoping to bring it back. Like I said, in the couple video I did, I want to make it where it's actually 1/2 the size of this system. So you have about, let me turn this thing off. So we'll make a tray system where you can actually pull the tray out from the bottom here, and then you can actually do all the cleaning, service, repair a lot easier. The top is just an assembly to house the projectile, but the bottom, all the drive going to be at the bottom. That's what we're hoping to do. Hopefully we're going to act together, get some of the current project out first, and then bring this back for you guys, and we can play against the operators. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Hope to see you out there.
All right, we're back. We hope you enjoyed that video. So let's talk about what you just saw right there. Obviously, that was the box mag. That was a product that we released 6 years ago now.
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a long time, right?
Yeah, well, 6 years, right? 2010, 9, 10, around there.
2009, 2010 product. That had its glory days, I think, in the beginning. The biggest conundrum that we had with the box mag, there was a lot of things. There's some contributing factors. One, the plastic. There were some key component parts that really needed to be supported, needed to be a little bit better material or quality, or have some type of support within them. The second part of it was for the round head mags only, round collar magazine wells only. So when we moved to the D mag, obviously the box mag was still in that older, early RAP4 generation. And then the third thing was education. It was the industry as a whole. Magazine fed paint there wasn't such thing. We didn't really have a huge understanding with magazines because, or the paint that we used in the mag-fed magazines, and that was just due to the roundhead mags were
right.
Fairly easy to put up, and you could really, there was a lot of there was a big spectrum of paint that you could use and that was available. But when you brought the box mag into it, now you've incorporated a motor that actually feeds the projectiles into a tube, which is not like a hopper. So, that type of education, I don't think, I wasn't around the company, but I don't think Rap4 did a great job of explaining that to a lot of people who wanted the box mag. What they saw was, oh, I'm a hopper player, I can play MagFed now because I have 250 rounds to shoot. That was kind of probably what they saw. And I just and to this day, I don't think from what I've learned from the box mag and from what KT and Mike and Tony and everyone has told me, is the industry was a little immature at that time for this product, and it showed, and it was a big problem. So what else you got?
I think the biggest contributing factor to that is that there's not much, like the knowledge base is not there. Back 5-6 years ago, 2010, that's when we have our first MagFed game, right? That's the first of its kind and the only of its kind. Back in 2010, that's 7 years ago. That's the first time we ever have an all MagFed game in the entire industry. So we released it about the same time, so people don't really know about it. Right now, you look about 7 years later, we're at Operation N 8 now, so there are more players, more knowledge base, more support behind it. So I think it's the right time to bring it back, get back to production, and I think people can use it better now.
I definitely think that too. I brought it out yesterday. I put this one together, and I have to admit, it is for players. I think back then that had the box mag, it's a little intimidating. You have a couple big component parts, your Nautilus drive, all that stuff, the wiring. It's a beastie thing. It's, how much do you think this weighs? About 4.5, 5 pounds almost?
This thing right here, I think about 3 pounds.
Fully loaded, it's probably 6 pound range.
Well, it holds, we know that a case of paint is 15 pounds. Half a case, right? It's 7 pounds, so you're about 250 rounds. That run you about what, 2-3 pounds? So you're talking about like 5 pounds worth of weight. It's actually weighs more than your marker.
Yeah.
So, altogether.
And you have to keep in mind too, we were using this for the MKP2 and the MK5, like early generations is when this was really useful. And a lot of you guys saw the video that we still get. I think we're over 1 million views now on that video on our YouTube channel. That still gets residual. We got people commenting more on those videos than any other video on our channel.
The when we test this, most people don't know, we actually toss it in the air about 10-15 feet, like literally just chuck it, and it held up fine. And that's how we test, and that's when we went. And we thought that was it'll be all right, but we didn't add the fact that when you add another 2 or 3 pounds of paint in there, and when you drop that, the add more stress to the unit, and it actually break. So that's something we didn't really account for. Just the weight by itself is fine, can hold up in the drop, but dropping with content inside, that's a different story.
So I think, for a lot of you guys that are very anxious to start auction or start bidding on this, we are going to auction this off, and there are a lot of people out there to this day that are still running this same box mag, and they have no problems. Then there is the other side of the spectrum of people who've purchased it, broke right when they got it, are very, very disgruntled about it. If you take care of this box mag, okay, and this is with anything else, it is a little bit more fragile, but if you take care of it, you shouldn't have any problems with this.
So what we're doing today is we're going to auction this box mag off, along with the
full auto Scar.
So this is what you're getting today.
You got to put the other mag well on.
Oh,
that's
okay.
That's why I left it on there.
Ah, well. So you get a box mag and a Scar marker. What's going on is that this box mag, Jonathan shot a whole 2 boxes. How many boxes shot?
Yeah, I shot about 150 rounds out of it. Then you saw the video. That was another probably 50 or 60. And I'll shoot another one out of it to just to make sure. But everything else will look good. It's perfectly clean. It's got the new outer shell, new back plate. We have the clear back plate. If you want me to put that on there, I can do that.
So we'll throw it in for you. So you get two magwells, the regular round color magwell and a DMag magwell, and we'll add in. Also put in if we have extra tray, right?
Yeah.
So we'll also throw in an extra new tray at the bottom. So basically, the tray house the motor, house all the components. Basically, you have two box mag. If the motor burned out, what's not, you get just take it out, put another tray in, you get to go. So you're definitely gonna have. I'm very sure what we're giving you, it's gonna last you a while.
Until the Hydra comes out.
Unless you break and drop it, and then we can't really help you with that. But the components that we'll give you will definitely you can service it. Another thing that if you break paintball in here, okay, paintball polymer and petroleum-based product do not like oil. So if you break a brown in there in the chamber anywhere in here, take it out and clean it off right away. If you leave the residue, the paint residue on polymer plastic, after a while the the oil will eat into the plastic, and it would change the structure of the plastic, and then it will break very easily. So that's something that if you're gonna get one, remember to do that. If you have break inside, take it out, clean it, and then put it away. Don't let the paint sit. It will ruin the product. You've seen it too. If you go and you play, and then we come back and you have residue paint on your goggles, and you go use it the second time, the paint actually eats into the goggle, and then we try to clean it up. You can't, and that segment or that portion of your goggles start to kind of deteriorate. That's exactly what happened. Okay, so make sure you keep it clean.
So let's talk about well, I'm going to start the auction because you guys are already going hard. So we're going to start it. It's going to go till 6 o'clock. So we have 5:06 right now on our time. When it's 6 o'clock on our computer, the auction is over. So right now we're starting the bid at $300, and you're bidding for you're getting both. You're getting the full auto 3-round burst SCAR with the box mag, with everything else that we talked about.
So just to recall, go over again. You get a clear back cover, back cover. You also get another full tray with the full tray with the motor and all component inside. So now, if the whole entire tray get messed up, you just take it out and place it in a tray. So basically, you get two box mag in a way, double the lifespan.
So let's talk about paint. Whoever takes this is one of the things that contributed to its demise in the earlier phases. High quality, thicker shell paint, Valken Graffiti, AG1, I have one here. New World, Psyops, any of those paint that have that thicker shell.
Oh, AG1 paint will also be fine.
Yeah.
The first thing that you probably want to do, get a new paint, is you want to make sure, you see this leaf right here? Depress the sleeve down, make sure the ball can go down freely on its own in all axis, of course, not one axis, and the axis it gets stuck in there, but it should go all different axis. This hole right here, it is 72 caliber. All right, so if you have any sort of gauges, you can actually test the gauge, but this is 72 caliber paintball, 6.8 caliber. If you have a ball that's bigger than 72 caliber, I suggest not to use it. But the idea is that you gotta make sure that ball can go in here easily. Don't try and put ball in here and what's going on? What am I missing?
Austin Coco, he says 500 and kick me in the nuts.
that's oh man.
Oh, that is rich. Good one, Austin. Oh man.
Yeah, don't just go and put the rounds in here and thinking that you have the right size. Okay, so gotta test it out, make sure it goes in there freely. Then if you're able to do that, then the chance of the ball gets stuck it's almost zero. All right. So don't forget you also have a manual turn right here too, just in case the round gets stuck in there. You also got a manual gear here to rotate it to help assist it from jamming up.
So you're going to get both the magwells there, so that way whoever takes it, you can use your Helix and D-mags, but when you want to use that box mag, all you got to do is remove that pin and slap on that Moxo. You can leave it on. Yeah. You can leave it on, can you?
Well, you leave it on the valve.
Leave the magwell on there and actually just set it on there.
Just swap it on and boom, and slip it over. Takes you like you can do in between game if you want. You know.
Shoot, you could probably just keep it on you.
And you get to go. Like about 30-second swap there. Oh, I think we have some. I don't know if we have any more, but I think we have some box mag pouch.
We do.
We do.
It's a large one.
Large.
Someone just asked about that, which I was going to.
Yeah, we'll include that in for you too. I don't know what color I broke it. No, I didn't break it. So we do have. I don't know what color we have. Green or tan, whichever color you have, we'll put in one for you.
Oh, yeah, I'll throw one in for you. Whoever takes it. So that way you have a box mag cover, and that actually has a lot of cushion on it.
Right.
I love those box mag covers. There's a lot of people that actually use those for tank pouches.
Right.
So we will have that. Jet Li, that's a really... Is that your government name? Because that's a really cool name.
No, that's Jet Li.
Jet Li, oh, okay. So we'll have those pouches. We have quite a bit of those, I think, still in the back here. I don't know what colors, but we will...
I think we'll have tan left. Tan. For sure we'll have black, but I'm very sure we'll have tan. Possibly green, but for sure we have tan. The last time I checked, but yeah.
6:25. All right, we're...
All right, John.
I think Val's got it. Val's watching here.
Okay.
Val's got our back. She's the backbone here. She's the
pillar.
muscle. Yeah. If you guys mess up, I'm gonna send Val to your home. Okay. Okay, great. So moving forward today with the show, we got one more video for you. How long is it?
It's I think a 2-minute video.
Okay, 2-minute video. Remember, guys, we are doing this auction till 6 o'clock. So it's 5:11 right now on our computer. You have till 6 o'clock to auction or to bid for this auction. We'll go back to it within the show here, so that way you guys kind of know what you're doing. For those of you just joining us, okay. So let's. I'm going to show you this video, new product that we're bringing back out for you, and you guys can see that here.
So
I would open the video
first.
first.
Video first, okay.
Top one.
All right. Pause this.
Small caster. I think it's full.
Full.
Yeah. There we go. You got to turn off the mic.
Modern Combat Sports.
What's going on, guys? This is MCS Red. I got a video for you today on the Blizzard M4 carbine. This is one of the newest for the Blizzard series. We're going to go ahead and I'll just show you exactly what it features here. You have your carbine handguard, buttstock, 5-position. You have your K416 rear sight, M4 front sight with the 7/8 inch barrel, M4 muzzle brake, and of course the carbine handguard here. This is a polymer material. You have your Blizzard, runs off of your Tippmann 98, have the braided hose version, black, so it kind of goes with the color of the marker, and ultimately you can fit any tank on here, remote line adapter, anything you want that's comfortable for you. You can see that the stock will hold up to that 13 cubic inch option. Very easy to clean. You have your magwell here, pop out the pin, take that. You have access to your bore and your breech there. You can just put it in some warm water and then dry fire out any excess paint, etc. The lock bolt is available for the Blizzard now, so you can go ahead and get that for those of you that want to maybe put in a response trigger fully auto option. This is shape projectile ready out of the box, which is great. So you're going to have the ability to shoot first strikes or any shape projectile out. Let's go ahead and do a shooting test here. Let me get this magwell in. Push this through. There we go. We'll go ahead and do a shooting test here. I got some AG1 paint. I'm going to fire it at my my target system here. You can see just how well that marker functions. Safety off. right, there you have it. Very easy to check to see if you have a round in the breech. For those of you worried about feeding issues or anything like that, this is a great entry-level platform. Allows for players to easily customize and upgrade from this point. Best part of this entire market is the price point, $199 with 2 magazines. So this is a great entry-level platform for those of you that want that M4 tactical carbine look. You can find it on the mcsus.com website. I'll see you guys out on the field.
We'll stop on its own.
All right, guys. So let's see here. So that is the new Blizzard M4 that we will be offering for the entry-level platform. It's already on the website, so we can put the thing in, or the link in here for you guys, so you can purchase it on the website. $199. A lot of people asked us about this for the entry-level players.
Right.
For those of you who got the loaner fleets or thinking about getting a loaner fleet, this is a perfect marker for that. This will give people the illusion of MagFed. It will offer them a realistic looking marker and for a solid price point. So for you guys that are ambassadors that are starting to sell, Timothy Brooks, Dusty Hatfield, all you guys, Stan, Dillard, all of you guys that are going to be using or looking to get those entry-level players, this is going to be a good marker for that.
Yeah.
Tons of upgradability. A lot of you guys know that stuff. We've kind of been seeing quite a difference in what people want out of markers now too. So
the reason why we built this one, it's from a lot of suggestion at Oklahoma D-Day. We have one of the previous generation loaner on the wall, and people just go right for it. They love it. So. And it was at Ion 2 last month, and people were asking for some basic M4 carbine version, something inexpensive, something quick. So that's why we kind of went back and listened to the people, and then we built them, and it's ready for shipping.
So one thing too that a lot of you have been asking about are the Lion Claw barrels. We've been recently getting quite a few questions about the differences between the recon rifle, the Lion Claw, and now the Hammerhead. So just when we thought we were going to make something that we wouldn't get questions about, we get even more questions.
Right.
So the differences, guys, between each 3 of those barrels. So the Hammerhead one-shot or bang sticks, battle sticks, it doesn't matter, are spiraled rifled. Okay, the one-shot barrels are a part of the Hammerhead line, but are direct threaded A5 and have the muzzle threads for our muzzle brakes that we offer. The Hammerhead line, Bang 6, Battle 6, Widowmaker, Sharp Tooth, those are for the Hammerhead muzzle brakes only and require a fin. So for those of you, let's talk about just benefits real quick. For those of you who are shooting shape projectiles, very wise to purchase a barrel like this. The spiraled rifling and the bore size of this barrel is optimal for shape projectiles at 280 to 290 FPS.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's even if you put a one-shot barrel or a hammerhead barrel onto your marker and you're shooting shape round first strike, you automatically, you can see like just night and day, just your range will go way up and your accuracy go way up. It just snap finger, boom, there it is. You don't have to do anything else. That's all. Just swap out the barrel, you can see right away. If you're doing the if you're shooting round balls, we've been shooting a lot lately too. And if you're shooting round balls, majority of the time use the Recon, the straight rifling barrel. Those are really good for round balls. I mean, we shot it just the other day. We compared 3 type of barrels: the smoothbore barrel, Lion Claw barrel. We shot the one-shot barrel, and we shot the straight Recon rifle barrel. And between those 3, round balls really great in the Recon. Not so great on the first strike and shape. It's okay, but on the one shot, the hammerhead barrel, it's outrageous. And if you keep using the smooth bore, the lion claw, it's an okay barrel. It's not the best of both worlds. Okay, the people kind of misconstrue that it's not. It's all right for both type projectiles. Not great either way. So it's kind of in between to go. If you don't go either way. You don't go straight with first strike, or you don't go straight with paint. And you want a decent barrel that does both. That's a lion claw barrel.
The Lion Claw is a smooth bore, obviously. John Winga, I'm glad you came in here because you're one of the guys that I always see talk about the train track or straight rifled recon barrels. And we've recently, like I said, we did the test a couple days ago with for our less lethal division.
Just for the heck of it,
just for the heck of it. And wow, what a difference.
Yeah.
Obviously, guys, with paintball, and this has been kind of a difficult thing to get people to understand, the smarter guys, the guys out there, the scientists, that's what I'm going to call them from now on, the guys with the degrees on the Facebook MagFed groups, those guys, it doesn't matter how far you tune your gun or, how well you do it, I'm sorry, how great your velocity is, your output pressure, all of that stuff can be awesome on a straight line. But the last thing that you really don't have control over at this time in our industry is the quality of the projectile that you're firing. It does all those things together with a consistent or quality projectile that's the same round to round is going to make the best of both worlds and the optimal performance for your marker. Right now with paintball especially, there's just too many contributing factors. And the size, the fill, it varies round to round. So it's difficult to, have everything else tuned in precisely, and then boom, not have the consistency that you want with your projectile, which is going to show. But the smoothbore barrels, they do well, especially with the Lion Claw being that they're 6.87 now. They're going to give you better compression for especially our AG1 paint. That's a little bit just around that size. And then for those of you that want that consistency with different types, because the recon rifle barrels are actually a little bit larger bore. They're 6.88 to 6.90.
It's about 6.90.
6.90. So to get a paintball that big, it's going to be a little bit difficult if you don't already know that you're shooting that big of a projectile.
And in actuality is that when you shoot the ball, it's the pressure actually changed the shape of the round. So it's actually bigger than it's going to be bigger than actual size, right? So because the compression come behind it, it expand the ball anyway. So with the train track or straight rifling, it minimized that friction. So instead of having friction on the entire circumference of the barrel, it's only touching half of it. And the other half, you still have air kind of pushing it through. So that's why the round ones come out, it has less turbulence and it goes a lot better.
So that we want to do a video here after we release the DMR one that we were talking about, the tuning one, which we should have out by the end of this week for you. We will do a video of all three barrels, and we'll set a length, and we'll do the same. We'll use the same marker. We'll probably use a bolt or a vortex with the A5 threads, and we'll go ahead and shoot the same velocity. And we'll make sure you can kind of see firsthand how well they work with round ball and then how well they work with the shape projectiles.
Right.
That way you kind of see visually exactly what to expect from each. But as it stands right now, the recon rifle barrels with the straight rifling are excelente for paintball. I've heard from numerous people already. So that's really good to hear. Tony, I saw your thing now. Well, we'll go back to that. But that's kind of the differences. If you're looking for that hammerhead projectile rifle for shape projectiles, the one shot, if you have an A5 threaded marker, is going to be your go-to.
Yeah.
So that's one thing to think. Timothy Brooks, you said, are the recon rifle barrels still being produced? Yes, they are. What we've been talking about is the bore size change for those specific barrels.
Probably drop it down a little bit, like 0.688, and we're gonna stick to like maybe 3 lengths, 10, 12, and 14, and that's it. We're not gonna make a long version or shorter version. I think the shorter version and other ones can be covered by the Lion Claw. I think if you're gonna shoot that shorter barrel, Lion Claw probably gonna do it anyway. So we're gonna do 10, 12, and 14. on the straight rifling?
The let's see here. Moving forward, I wanted to talk about something and I couldn't remember. Oh, in regards to the post, excuse me, that I put up, that we put up yesterday and the day before, asking for ideas for future projects. Um, got some flack on some type of aspects of it, and then other than that, the participation and the ideas and the opinions from a lot of you guys that contributed to that post was awesome. So I want to thank you very much for the support on that. You gave us a lot of great ideas. The reason that we wanted to do that, and this is, like I said, we obviously know that we have a lot of projects that we have to release. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys an update right after this about those products. Okay, but what our idea is we wanted to get some ideas from you. We wanted to actually start a project. So next week, what we're going to do is we're going to choose the top 10 ideas from that post. So we kind of I'm going to take them and I'm going to create a poll on the page, and you guys are going to vote for them. And the top 10 is actually we're going to go through it, and KT, maybe Omar, because he's going to be here on Friday, they will draw up the concept. We will all sit down, we'll draw up the concept, and are going to show you guys exactly what it takes to create a project from concept all the way to production. And we're going to do it with you hand in hand. So that way you guys can see exactly how it works, what to expect, the challenges that you have to overcome when you do these types of these designs and things like that. And we're gonna do it with you guys. We're gonna show you exactly how it needs to be and how we do the process here at MCS with these guys.
It's actually, I mean, it's gonna be a pretty incredible experience for you guys too. Right now we're doing the concept part of it. A lot of people saying, why are we doing so many projects? Well, the project we have, it get to a certain stage, it has to stop. Like for example, right now we had the Hydra. It's in the prototype stage, so parts are being made. You have to make every single part. I can't show just one part and test it. No, there's like a dozen or two parts in there. Some part has to be mold, some part has to be machined, and so they have to go through a process. During that time, what you're gonna do? You twirl your thumb? No, you go to the next project and then work on it and so on. So each project itself, and sometimes you run into a technical challenge. How do you make something to work? How you overcome that to make the best possible way? You can always make it complex, right? But complexity costs money. First you have to make a complex part, which means that more detail costs more. We don't want that. We want to make it easy as possible, the simplest possible, and of course the challenge of service and maintenance. And we want to make something that's easy for you to remove and assemble, right? So that kind of things takes time, and those things are the main goal when you are trying to make a product. Sometimes it takes longer because you want to find a different way of doing it rather than, okay, let's do it this way. You stop for a while, and during that time you talk to people, you research.
You get ideas.
You draw and you scratch, and until you get it right.
So yeah, no, like you said, one thing too with some of these projects, especially with the Hydra, right now it's being made. It's being printed with metal components, correct? Right. So we can test the highest quality, no 3D printed, baloney where it could break. It's being printed right now. We'll have it next week, and we're going to test it. If the product works flawlessly and it tests and it does exactly what we need it to do, then we can take that, separate the everything that we need to, and put it in production. That is the biggest conundrum that we've had to deal with the Hydra. The prototype that you saw back in 2012 was just a 3D printed model.
It is. The thing about it too is that I'm gonna interject that a little bit. The thing about it too is that with prototyping, you don't really get a true to scale. So to feed the projectile properly, you got to make sure the channel got to move smoothly. The geometry got to cut in properly, and the most important thing is the tolerance, because when you are making a product, the tolerance has to be consistent to what you designed for. Prototype doesn't give you that. So you can compensate for it by modifying it to make it work. But from prototype to production, then from that stage to actually making the tooling to produce it, that's also changed. Sometimes the tool they cut it improperly, or they cut it, even if they make it exactly perfect, that may not even be the right geometry or the right measurement that we need. That still also need to be corrected at times. So it's all different challenges, and from concept to design to prototype to production, and even at the production level, you got to make sure that the components are consistent, right? You don't want to make one component and then it's different to the next. Then that also changes the tolerance on the product.
So a lot of that stuff is Bill Nye the Science Guy mumbo jumbo that I don't understand, but KT knows about it, and a lot of you guys, the scientists on this thing, also know about that. It's not, a lot of the stuff that you've seen, and we've talked about it before numerous times on this show, just because we need to, we always have to reiterate a lot of stuff.
Geology, geometry, it's all confusion, yeah.
It's true, Austin. I mean, that's kind of the way it is. The shape projectile, like I said, that is done. We know that it works. It's been tested by Omar several hundred, if not maybe 1,000 times. We know about it, but to keep our game plan in order, there are some things that we have to accomplish with this project. The tornado. I mean, I watched that project. We did the R&D, or we're doing the R&D behind the scenes.
Film that
another episode.
I got it up ready too.
Yeah. So I learned from him, watching him do that project.
I can show you. Let me show you really quick.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'll go grab it.
So I mean, it's really confusing, and it's something that it kind of blows my mind to see a project come to fruition. I could understand, and I understand a lot of you guys' frustration, because I'm frustrated too. I want to see these projects get done, so we can bring out more stuff for you guys. So it is difficult sometimes to have to deal with a lot of people all the time about being disgruntled, but it's kind of a thing that we have to deal with, unfortunately.
Well, you know what? Just the chamber alone. This is the chamber of the tornado, and we have to make several prototype to get this properly. Why? Because we got to make sure that goes in, and you release it. So you can do. So you have to test not just one type of magazine. This is previous generation magazine with the kind of soft soap bottle kind of material. This is new version. You got to make sure it goes in. Right? And new helix. Drop it in. And we want to make sure you can even do this, right? You do a mag chain. Right? So that takes some time to kind of get it right, making sure that it's clean. And lock bolt too. So it's using the lock bolt of the Blizzard and the Bolt version. So we gotta make sure it works. You can lock it out. Stuff like that. It's I did the whole entire body, but there was some error that occurred. So instead of did the entire body again, I just made this front area only, where I concentrate on the geometry in the area that need to be corrected. So right now, as I showed you, that we're able to correct it, and now it's working perfectly. But from here into production, that's also another aspect as well. Of course, this is the lever from the Blizzard and the Bolt, but it will have its own, not that monstrosity, it's not very long, but we have to use mainly the same component, so that way allow us to kind of test all the components that before we go production. So as you can see, that it takes a lot of little details there. You don't just go and push a button and it works, but from designing to testing to prototyping, there's little things to it that adds up. That's why a project takes a little longer than it should be.
The Callista, for some of you who've been asking questions, we get this question quite a bit too. The Hydra magazine, okay, will be for any DMag or Helix mag well. It is not going to be marker specific. It will be available for any of our markers that we have available. So the PTR, it's going to use that. It's going to use the Helix magwell or DMag magwell. you're going to be able to use that box mag with the PTR.
Right.
So the box mag is going to be probably more than half less the size than our old one, and then ultimately it's going to be more of a drum type of consistent or shape than a box itself. So like I said, that's going to be for all markers. So all of you guys that want to play the open class scenarios, you're going to have an opportunity to do that. Shape projectiles, both ours and first strikes. Our markers are not going to be different. The magazines aren't going to be specific. This is going to be a round that we developed to increase and help the industry grow as a whole, not leave it just for ourselves.
Right.
So that is the biggest thing. So you don't have to worry about that for any of you guys that are worried about, oh, it's going to be, it's only for, marker specific. Don't worry about that.
Right. Like I said, that's why we need to start thinking about a next project that we would take on. And I think we want to do a community project for a while now, since we have the show. So every week we would show you guys the progress of where we're at. You can give us our input on how to implement things, any features you want to add. Like I said, little features you would never know that the feature that you would want until you start getting to that one area of the project. Just like writing a story, right? You don't know what happened until a character get to the crossroad. Should go left, right, go straight. Should he fight or retreat? So same thing with designing a project. You have the idea of what is it that you're doing. So you say you're doing a boop hub. So okay, here's a boop hub design. Okay, now how you want to implement magazine from back here in the middle, maybe 2 magazines, one in pistol grip and one in the back. So what about full auto? You want to implement full auto? Should we do electronics? Should we do mechanical? And okay, so now you decide to do electronics. So what kind of system you want to use? You want a solenoid, valve? I mean, all kind of good stuff start to kind of going in there. And each one of those choices you make, you have to come up with a solution to overcome it, right? Just like a story, you decide to to fight. Well, how are you going to beat the opponent? So you decide to put an electronic trigger. How are you going to implement it in? What kind of valve system to keep up the feeding mechanism? So where's the air can be placed, right? So all these little things you have to come up with the answer for as you proceed on making the decision that you're going to make. And I think it would be a lot of fun having the discussion weekly how to implement that. There might be
I'm not bored. I'm listening here. This is good information, because I think a community project like this, and we have, okay, I hear from you guys, our ambassadors often, okay? We hear on, like I said, we have had thousands of people give their opinions, both good, bad, disgruntled, concerned. We have the opinions, but we want to do something and interact with people outside of our spectrum as much as we can. Learning KT going to the East Coast this year, Mike going to the East Coast for the games that we've never been to, we never had any presence at, and we were completely disconnected from those of you on the East Coast side of the U.S. And we didn't hear what you guys had with our that you disliked about our product, what we could have done better, or those of you who did like it, but it was difficult for you to get support, blah, blah, blah. And now that he's done that, every time he comes back from a trip, he's got a plethora amount of information in regards to the products, things we can do better, what people want. That's what we want to do. We want to reach outside of the spectrum and talk to the community of magazine-fed paintball players, not just the people who watch our show or the people who use our products, blah, blah, blah. We want to see and get feedback from everyone in the sport, because that's what's going to help us get to the next level. It's going to help us put products out there that you guys want, not just spend money,
right,
time, effort on projects, put it through R&D and release it, and then be like, well, nobody really wants
crickets.
it. Yeah, exactly. And we've done that. So obviously we don't want to do that again. So that's the reason for the post. That's the reason why we want to do this community project. And then ultimately, too, is we want to inform a lot of you guys that maybe don't know about R&D process, how exactly it works and how much of a challenge it is on a day-to-day basis.
Right. Jonathan was saying that how I go events and we get here from the players. Well, 2 products we just released that straight from you guys' suggestion, the Lion Claws barrel, right? I went to 0 hour. A lot of people asking, can I get a barrel for I can shoot both? So here we came back and we have it. Went to Oklahoma, and a lot of people were looking for an inexpensive kind of M4 AR markers. Now we have it. So we came back, we did a production of the barrels and the handguard, and now we have it again. And so we're listening. So you guys have something cool, let us know. We'll see if we can make it happen. Hey, what's up, Steve? Steve,
Steve?
Necro.
Oh yeah, there we go. The next part, or the next thing on the list here, is the. I just lost what I was gonna say. Oh man.
Maybe I guess I'm gonna ask some question. Let him answer while he gets his thoughts together. Got a little brain fart going on there.
Yeah, you got me all flustered now. What was I gonna say? Probably auction leaders thing.
Well, how about go over the auction while you think about it, right?
Yeah.
So this is the auction gun today. The Scar with the 5 magazine. I mean, sorry, Scar with the full auto option, and then you get a box mag. And the box mag gonna come with a clear tray, the pouch for it, and also another full complete with battery and charger too. So you get 2 rechargeable battery and a plug-in wall charger that you can charge up the bottom, and then you also get a whole new tray, replacement tray with the motor and all the component in there. So in other words, if you have any problem to it, you can just replace the tray. Basically, get the lifespan of 2 box mag in a way.
And then you're also going to get the box mag pouch.
Yeah.
So you guys will have that available too. Justin, how long did it take me to grow the stash? Oh man, it's been years. It's a late bloomer. No, it doesn't take that long. But I forgot what I was going to say. Honestly, I totally forgot.
Maybe it's not important.
Yeah, maybe it's not important.
Okay.
Maybe it's not important at all.
If it comes back, it comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of people asking about a PTR. I'm hoping to get the PTR for you guys. What day is this? Today's
Thursday.
Thursday.
Or today's Wednesday, the 9th.
The 9th.
Tomorrow will be the.
Hopefully, I'll start production before I go onto an OPC trip next week, and then after that, when I come back, I think we can start to take photos and put it out for you guys. Do some tech video, so you guys can know how it works. But we're probably gonna have 2 versions. You can buy the lower with the mag well attached already, so you just take your upper off and just attach it on, and then you can go or get the full markers. So that's something you can look forward to in about hopefully September.
So like I said, the PTR is done. We're just going to put it in production now. So for those of you that want to upgrade your 468 lowers to the PTR, you'll be able to do that. And for those of you who want to just buy the marker of the PTR, those will be available as well. So that's something that will be out, and that'll be one of the projects off the list. From then, the next one will be we're hoping the shape projectile. We're getting very close here on that.
Also the pink and green helix coming out in about hopefully later this week or early next week.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have those out too. So for those of you that want the colored helix, you guys will have that too.
Tony, no bear receivers. There is quite complexity in putting it together, and we don't want to give it a chance of someone put in incorrectly and get it not to work, and then we get the support call that we can't support. It's just you have to get a whole receiver with the trigger frame, the whole frame with the mag well and everything attached. All you have to do is just take off your old upper, drop it in, and you're good to go.
Let's see here.
Auto toggle thread uppers, less likely that's gonna happen. Maybe sometime in the future, but at the current moment we only have 2. I mean, the one piece upper has A5 threads and spider threads, and the spider is basically, we have those to allow players with a good barrel to upgrade, to keep that using a good barrel you have. That's why we have both versions. We only made about 200 of the spider upper. 100 of them's already gone, so we only have 100 left. So you guys looking to upgrade that uppers with the spider thread, get them. and once they're gone, we're not gonna make them anymore. We only made 200 units of the one-piece upper with spider threads, so look out for that. That's when they're gone. Once they're gone, we're not gonna be able to make them.
Jordan
Yeah.
Christian said, if you're having buyer's remorse, we can remove your bid and give it back to Rondo Khan if you want to. But let us know now. It's 5:43. We're going to be doing the auction for the full auto Hurricane and the box mag until 6 o'clock. Exactly.
Yeah.
So one of the questions I saw, what is the difference between the lowers of the PTR and the 468? The only difference between the two lowers is the realism. The author or the authenticity of an AR lower on a paintball gun you're going to get with the PTR. The other one is obviously the recreational version. It's what you have now. No performance increase. It's just going to give you the realism. You're going to have that 9 position and 12 o'clock position safety selector that does the click. I mean, full on AR spec PTR lower.
Well, the biggest, like I said, what you're getting is you're getting a trigger system that replicates the AR. Basically, you get the trigger pull, trigger weight, and trigger reset exactly the same, and it's also adjustable. So if you are you want a low reset, you can actually adjust it to make a low, like a short reset. And you want to increase the weight, you can increase the adjustment. You can increase the weight of the trigger pull. So it's took a while to get that. Like I said before, one of our biggest holdback on the PTR is the sear, the adjustment, the trigger adjustment. It's get out of adjustment after like about 2,000 to 3,000 shots. So it took us a while to overcome that, to redesign it, to make the adjustment sticks for a long time. So that's why good thing come for those who wait, and we're waited, and it's ready.
Did Jordan Christensen, did you remove your bid or no? Is he still on here? Rondo Khan, you still on watching? I didn't see if he left or not. Jet Lay said
yeah,
back to 850, so I don't know if he took it back or what happened. Let me know before we move forward here so I can put that up. Yes, removed. Okay. All right, so Rondo Khan, you got it at 850 right now until someone takes him from you.
Jet Lay put it 850.
No, he said back to 850.
Okay, back to
that
850.
Was Rondo Khan's last bid.
Okay.
Wife caught me. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here. So Rondo Khan, you got it right now at 850. Go ahead and put that. We still got plenty of time, guys, to bid. So for those of you, you can bid in increments of $10. So you guys will have that available. Next thing, let's talk about events coming up. Next month we have September
20-something, end of September, we have the Cave Nation.
The Cave Nations,
I think we're going to be going down there. We have to coordinate somehow. That's going to be a fun event. Callista and the gang going to be down there.
Callista, your PTR did ship out, I believe, or did you hold it? So put the magazine sleeves on it.
I don't want to hold it. I want her to have the first one to have it, so it's already went out.
Okay.
So your markers are went out along with the pink magazine.
Stan Dillard, what do you mean by specs on the trigger? The 468 trigger is proprietary. It does not use real steel or any other trigger out there.
What he's asking for is almost every single marker. There's two type of trigger system out there right now. One is the sliding sear. The sliding sear work like this, right? So you have, this is the sear itself, and then you get your hammer or striker. It moves forward, it hit it, and it moves forward. So the sear actually moves forward once the hammer or striker push against the sear. The actual sear move forward a little bit, about an eighth, and then it stops right there at the trigger until trigger pull, and then it goes down and let it fire. So that's called the moving sear. That's one system. The second system is the electronic system, in which that you have a valve or a pin or something to release a valve. That's only two systems out there. who's using the moving sear. All spider marker using moving sear. Tipman markers, Tipman A5, Classic X7, 98. You have Music using that. You have the Tibus T15. They're all using moving sear. Majority of the markers out there using moving sear. Why? Because it gives a lot of movement. I mean, you're talking about if you guys next time you open the markers out, you can actually the sear. You can actually push it forward and actually stops. So it's actually, you can actually move back and forth like about 1/8 of an inch. That's a lot of movement. So they did that. So that's a really high tolerance. So it's forgiving, right? So if you're off a little bit, you're fine. It still fires. It still catch. But on the P-char, it's not like that. It's not a moving sear. It is a fix. So what you have is you have a sear right here that move up and down to fire, release, and fire the release and hold back the hammer or the striker. So you have your trigger right here. It right here. It just touch each other. Based on your adjustment, it's either here or here. If you want to have a little bit of trigger reset, then you put it here. So you pull until it hits the sear and it fires off. If not, then you put right next to the sear. Then as soon as you pull the trigger, it moves. That's like a competition level sort of trigger system. If you look into like competition level firearms, people pay like $500 just for a trigger alone, and that's what you pay for. You pay for that hair light trigger set. You're talking about 1/8 of a pull. Like you barely pull the trigger and it fires. That's a competition level trigger system. That's what a PTAR is. It's a competition level trigger system, which means that you can. I don't know what it can do for you as far as paintball wise, but in the firearms world and you do competition, it's a matter of taking the shot or not. So if you ask for the true differences, that's the true difference as far as trigger system goes. And that's the genius in the design of the trigger system. We did that. I mean, we went through a lot of hurdles. You have no idea how long it takes to actually get it to that point and what I just discussed. So imagine someone tell you, I want a trigger system like a real AR. I want reset the same, pull the same, weight the same. Well, we have a lot of challenges to go through, so we have to reverse that, right? How are we going to be able to make a trigger system that does that? So we went at it, and about 6 months to a year later, and we solved the problem, and that's what we're at right now. So that's the challenge. That's a challenge that we took, and we did it.
So I remember what I was going to talk about.
Okay.
It is important. A lot of people were asking.
Let me ask. Jet lag there. It can run on one battery, but better with two. Just like you have one battery, you have certain amperage. The voltage is the same, right? You have volts. When you have put two batteries together, you have the same amount of volt. You have 12 become, parallel, right? It becomes still 12 volt, but you have double the amount of amperage. That means it can push a lot harder. That's the difference. It's not an inline where you add one on top of the other become 24. No, it's actually parallel. Okay, so keep that in mind.
So what I was saying, a lot of people on the post of what they want to see, as far as like the products that we're looking at. A lot of the people on there, do not run those boxes on a single battery. Listen to Tony. He's been there. He's dealt with that monstrosity. So yeah, definitely run 2 batteries there. Chris Kelly, I'm glad you got that working out, bud. That's really good. So back what I was saying, some of the products, the pistol. A lot of you guys have seen the pistol. You've already watched the video of what we've made. Right now, Omar's coming on Friday. We should do a live stream with Omar on Friday.
He's the man trying to be.
I know he doesn't. He's
the man trying to be clandestine here. So
maybe we'll blur out his face and warp his voice like it's not him. But he's coming down here this weekend to work on the pistol, to finalize it and get it done. Jeremy Lubecker is coming down. He's been doing a lot of work for us with the box mag, the Hydra, and the pistol. So we're working on that. The shotgun. Okay, a lot of people have been asking for the shotgun. We have an option coming. When do you think it's coming in a couple weeks? It should be this
Hopefully,
month,
whole end of the month. No, of early next month that we have it.
right? Yeah.
But we do have a shotgun design. It's in the R&D office right here. One of these days, we're probably gonna show it you guys. But one of the reasons why I held that project back because I wanted to add a magazine into the shotgun. That way, you guys can. I think I spoke about it a couple times. And so we did design the shotgun, but I stopped. We could have made it, but we stopped that project to add in a magazine in. That way you can shoot at that time shape round when first strike start to kind of taking its shapes into the industry, into the game. So if we making the way it is right now, all you can do is shoot round balls. I don't think you guys gonna love that. So I decided to, you know what, let's add the ability to put in a magazine well. That way if you want to do shape rounds and you want to do first strike, you can just add it on and off you go. You have 2-in-1 system as opposed to just make a system that does only round balls. So that's the reason why it takes a little bit longer. But hopefully we'll get our butts back onto that project and get that going as well.
In the meantime, though, we will have, like I said, a shotgun option. We'll have a few different looks, different configurations, and we'll do a video when we get them in here. Their pump, Chewy, they are.
Chewy, I got your message, Chewy. We'll take care of that for you.
Yeah.
Hopefully this week. If not, then for sure we'll get it out for you next week.
He said he wants a PTR. He said earlier he wants a PTR.
Okay, so we'll let's take that discussion offline, shall we? We'll take care of you, Chewy.
So we'll have that, and we're gonna do a shooting test. We'll do it live on the show. We're going to be shooting a lot more on the show. I know we said that before, but we really want to do that. We have a lot of different markers that we're building up and different releases, and we want to show a lot of the stuff now, especially with the different barrels that we offer. We have the 3 different barrels now, with more coming in. So we want to do that for you guys. So when we get the shotguns in, we're going to be doing a full video on them. The 43 cal pistols, the PPQs. Those will be here hopefully at the end of the month. I'm just waiting for a ship date from our supplier. And then we'll have those, and those are going to be definitely for those of you that want that realistic sidearm, reliable, realistic 43 cal sidearm. For those of you that can use it, you're going to have that available here soon. And I think we're going to be the only ones offering that for as far as paintball as of right now. So we will have that for you too. We're also going to do a full review, full everything. We'll shoot it, show you what they changed, how it's different, and then we'll be able to support that.
Stan said shoot outdoor. Why don't we just shoot it right here? As we're sitting right here, just turn it over and bam, bam, bam. What do you think about that?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll probably do
put some trap system there, and this is big White House. We can do that. See that right there? We just kind of make a net right there. We can catch that.
Callisto should move MCS to her house.
Oh.
We have way too much stuff to take anywhere. No, the pistol is not ours, Vinny. This is actually we're going to be distributing for a company that's making it. It's going to be 43 cal only.
Right.
But we will have paintballs. We'll have powder balls.
Right.
We'll have rubber rounds. We'll have everything that you need for these markers, and we will be able to support it.
Right.
So the redesign it's breathtakingly awesome. Yeah. It's going to solve a lot of the headache that we had with the APS product.
Right.
And we're going to have that too.
Yeah, Brian, it's not the pistol that we're getting in is from another company, not the one that we produce. The one we're working on is the 68. This is kind of like the brand .43 caliber system. It's not the standard 68 that we're working on.
The pistol that we have made is 68 cal, but that one's not out yet.
Yeah.
We're talking about the PPQ that we'll have at the end of this month, hopefully.
Right.
So the shotgun will be 68 caliber. The PPQ, the pistol, will be 43 cal, but we don't make either of those products. We'll be distributing them.
Right.
So just keep that in mind before someone starts saying that, and then someone catches wind of it.
You know how that goes.
Forest fire.
Right.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. We'll have that. What else do we got? Do we have anything?
Oh man.
Anything else new?
Couple little things here and there, but we'll you know what we're gonna do is each week we'll make a small video for you guys. We did recently, and I think you'll be more informed. Sometimes we don't know what comes in ourselves, and because we're just so occupied.
Yeah, that's true. So we got 558 right now. Rondell Khan's bid at 850. He's the one that's the last one that's got it. So you got 2 minutes to bid, increments of 10 if you guys want it. So anything else? If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them now. If not, we'll be signing off here after after the auction's over.
Yeah. Tornado.
Yep, tornadoes.
Blizzard bullpup. Yes. I want one of each. Okay, you got it. Julio, you got it. But the tornadoes, it's like I said, this is the final piece of the puzzle that I just worked on, getting the getting to feed, magazine insert like that, it comes in. That's what we want, and we finally get that done. So now we're able to go to the next stage and produce it.
Oh, okay. Keep an eye on that. Yep.
All right, so Johnson stepped out. I'll take the center here. So 5:59, a minute to go. So every answer of your post, which gun would you like to see made next, hasn't been produced. Well, Brian, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick 10, the top 10 from that suggestion list, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna poll them and see which one we're gonna take, to take on. And like I said, what we do is we're gonna start with, say we want to make a real futuristic kind of rifle, right? So we're gonna make a concept design of it, and you guys can give input of how that concept design gonna look. Round buttstock, square buttstock, sight, grip, round, folded. Depends on what you wanted to do, and we'll do the outside first, right? And then from there, we're gonna start the next stage. We show you the geometry, show you design 3D, and from next things, we're gonna show you what kind of system you want to do. So you want to do full auto, you want to do semi only, and then what valve system you want to do. You want to do like a spool valve system, you want to do stack tube, you want to do inline, or you design something new. What is it we want to do? What kind of trigger system you want to put in, electronic, mechanical, and so on, so on. So each one of those steps, you guys can give us your input, and then that will kind of, when we take a week, right, we go back into the system, we kind of draw it up for you, show you, okay, here's the concept, what do you think? And then as we discuss, like we are now, live, and we make some changes as we go. And by the end of maybe 6 months to a year, perhaps, we have a complete project, and with all you guys' input. That's the plan. Right, 601. Nobody bid for it, so the Rondell Khan gonna get this auction, and that's pretty much it, fellas. All right, and ladies, of course. Thompson M1, hammer, centerfire rifle, bolt action. Okay, except there are a lot of options to go with. And John, Halo battle rifle 3-round burst with electronic ammo count. That's a lot of, like I said, the thing about with ideas, you can make it into anything we want, right? Anything is possible. So as long as we can resolve the technical aspect of it, how we're gonna do it, and able to bring that into physical form. So when you have an idea, first you have to bring that idea into digital form, draw it up, make it functional, and then from there, you have to bring that to reality, and that's the complexity in making a product. World War I, World War II, style bolt action of any kind. Okay, Alex. Like I said, well, if you guys have any suggestion, go to that post on the Facebook and go ahead and post it up right there. Any visual aid will help. So post a link of the photo of the rifle that you want to do, and post it up. Like I said, we'll pick the top 10, and then from there we will poll it up and see which one we're gonna take on. A Barrett 50 cal. We have a Barrett 50 cal stand, and what we're doing right now is we're trying to figure out what's the best option to take that. We have the design about 2 years ago. I'm hoping to continue to get that, get back on that project. Like I said, right now we have more project that each project kind of take a certain stage in its cycle, right? So designing wise, we have most of the project already done in the design stage right now, where the most the difficult aspect and a project's actual prototype stage. You got to prototype that. The prototype doesn't mean that it's going to work properly. That in itself requires a little bit of expertise. So of course there's associated costs and time to it. So you have to kind of get the drawing, make the prototype, test it, and then you don't stop there. You have to correct that prototype in reflect to the project that you're working on, and from there you have to prototype again. Like I said, like this right here, I'm so focused on this project, that's why I got this far, right? So like the tornado, I made the body already and I tested it wasn't fitting properly, so now I made just the feeding attachment on that. So now I get it just right. So from here I'm moving forward to the next stage. But like I said, if even to get to the stage itself takes some work to do, right? So that's why it's each project takes time. Tucker, when are you waiting for Hydra? Hydra, like I said, the hopefully we're able to show you guys the Hydra in its full form in about 2 weeks. We're making every single component again, so in a fully functional manner, and that we can show you guys everything about it. Tucker, I know you mouse dying to love. Yeah, well, except the box mag again. I really want to do half the size. So right here, you see how that is, like about right here, and then the tray just come right in and slide out, and it goes right in, and that's where all your mechanism feeds up. Say you have a break or what's not, you just pull the tray out with all the components, everything inside, with the battery and everything, and then you just clean it and then put it back. And the way that it works is probably have a contact to the top, and then you know how the top has the microphone and all the control mechanisms, so that's gonna stay off. And maybe you have like a connector, like a slide connector, like a chipboard connector that just kind of slide over and then connect to each other. And then I'm very sure that will solve the problem. MP40, yeah. An ammo count mag system, totally doable. It's doable. There are a couple different ways of doing it. You can, Vinny, you can do electronic that can count per shot, or you can do like a ratchet system. So every time you cycle, the ratchet kind of move, and then when it hits the very bottom of it, it stops, and that means that it also frees up the system as well. So there are a couple different ways of doing that. All these, what you're saying is not too far out. That's something we thought about, but again, it's we have to pick and choose what we want to do and can do. All right, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us weekly and be part of the show. And I hope to see you guys out there at the game sometimes. Next month, if you guys heading up to SoCal, to SC Village, I'll be there for the Cave Nation. All right. Hopefully Jonathan can come too, and we'll both hang out with you guys for that weekend. All right. Take it easy, fellas and ladies. Hope to see you guys out soon.